Woo-hoo! Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Starting just a few minutes late, trying to get stuff set up as per usual. This is normally how we do it, so should be a surprise to nobody that we're a few minutes late, but that's okay. Just getting ready to. A few minutes late, trying to get stuff set up as. And you know, this isn't Play It Painted Live unless you do have that echo there. Trying to get the comments window to work a little bit to show up. There we go. Did I get it? There we go. Okay. So there we go. Comments window is up. Painting window is up. And titled tonight's show, Upgrade. A little phonetic spelling there. And that has to do with this camera. So I did get a new camera. This is a it's basically the upgraded version of the previous camera I used to run, and the previous camera is still in the lineup. So I still have this guy, the old Microsoft LifeCam. This one was a 720p camera. The new one, this one is a 1080p camera, but I don't know if it's 1080p on a live stream like this. I'm not really sure. So we'll find out, I guess. We'll find out if the video quality is any better with the new camera. But what that means for us is that means I now have three different webcams, not including the laptop cam. So, dude, what's up, Cameron? Which also means that if and when we get to do some gaming live streams, that means we'll have more camera angles. We'll be able to do more close-up stuff. And so I'm looking forward to it because I think it's a good time to start to get back into showing off some games on this channel. Obligatory Guild Ball, but that's not what you're painting. Yeah, no, I do want to talk Guild Ball, even though I haven't had any Guild Ball models to paint for a few weeks now. So I'm going through some withdrawals. I do need to. Here's the thing about Guild Ball is I want all the teams. I do. I want more Guild Ball, but I'm holding off for a couple of reasons. And one, what's up, David? One of the main reasons why I'm holding off is because I want to buy from local stores here, and there is that we should start seeing Guild Ball pop up in the stores here in Southern California. A few of us have been actively working to make that happen. So David Blood, worked hard to get the game recognition in San Diego. So starting to show up in shops there in San Diego. I've been working here in Orange County. So we should see it in Brookhurst Hobbies, and still pushing for Comic Quest. Comic Quest, they'll get it. They'll get it. Once they see like what kind of community we have here. Comic Quest might get it, or Game Master might get it. Something in Orange County, something close to my house will get it, and that's probably the main reason why I haven't bought any more Guild Ball. The other reason why I haven't bought any more Guild Ball is because it's the complexity of the game is something that I'm still exploring, and I don't want to muddy up my learnings by team jumping too soon. And I think a game as deep as Guild Ball, you really got to give it the proper respect and learn the game through one, maybe two teams. So I have two teams right now, and I feel like I'm at a comfortable point with my Masons, and I want to. So I want to learn Alchemist, but then I kind of caught myself today thinking about it, and I was like, I may know my Masons, but I'm not able to play on a clock, and that's really where I need to get with that team. I really need to get to a point where I can play on a death clock, and I'm used to the movements, and I'm used to working the clock, and I'm used to playing that kind of way, because if I'm going to be hosting a tournament, or if I'm going to be playing in a tournament, hopefully, I need to get more accustomed to that style of gaming. I need to speed up my game. I need to clean up my movement. There's all kinds of stuff. So even though I feel comfortable with the Masons team, the game itself, I still need to feel more comfortable around in general. Okay? So that was a lot of talking for a show, and that we haven't even started any of the painting stuff yet. So what's been going on paint-wise? Paint on the clock. I need to practice too. Yeah, for sure. We need to start playing that way. I have a light chess clock app on my phone that I've been trying to use. But I mean, even the simple act of getting used to hitting a clock before doing your activation, I don't have that yet. It's a simple memory of, oh, I got to hit my clock, and then hit my clock when I'm done with my activation. And I want to start playing that way. And it's tough because right now, because everybody's brand new. We're all noobs right now in Southern California. And so there are a few people that are kind of emerging as as more veteran players. And those guys, David Bled's been playing a lot. I've been playing a lot. There's local guys like Leon have been playing a lot. We need to move over to death clock play, and the other guys still need to be able to take their time and learn the game and play it that way. So that's where I'm at. So there's gonna be games right now where it's like, okay, this person's learning their guild, so I keep the chess clock on myself and not the other player. But what I really like to do is have two players, like me and the other person, each play on a death clock, and duke it out and see what and just get used to that kind of thing. So hey, a lot of folks jumping in. Corey, hey, I've just built my Guild Ball stuff for Saturday. Nice. But yeah, that's where we need to get. I'm really excited about the stuff that's going on around Guild Ball. There is a lot of stuff in the works, folks. There's a lot of stuff in the works. And I was fortunate enough to have a little bit of a powwow with the folks over at Steamforged. And there's a lot of stuff I can't disclose just yet, so we're going to wait a couple of days on that. But that said, really excited about it. Okay, so anyway, on to the painting. What am I working on? So I'm taking a break from Ninja All-Stars. I painted the 4 factions. I'm going to get around to the other 2, but I'm taking a break, doing some odds and ends right now. And so last night I was doing a little bit of building. Okay, so one of the things I built was this guy. This is Gregorio. Look at that nice focus on this camera. You guys like the new camera? This is Gregorio Don Cicero from Wrath of Kings. Wrath of Kings is another fun one that I've been playing, and so really enjoying him. He's like part of the vampire crew. So he's the only male vampire that I think they have in the game. So I put him together. He's real quick. And then I also put together this model. This guy's name is Otto von... Come on, focus. Magic focus. There we go. Otto von Guericke from Hell Dorado. But what does he remind you of? Just look at the mini. What do you guys think? He's pretty cool. He reminds me of Signar, like War Machine stuff. But he could also be like a Guild Ball proxy, right? He could be like a Ballista proxy or a Salvo proxy or something like that. So even though we haven't been playing Hell Dorado, and don't get me wrong, I really love the game of Hell Dorado. It's just kind of heartbreaking to try to play it because, it just doesn't have the support. I went ahead and put this mini together anyway because I'm going to paint him and see if I can, throw him into a game or two just because it's a neat miniature. We're not working on any of those miniatures tonight. What we're going to work on tonight, what I'm going to work on tonight is some Relic Knight stuff, or just one Relic Knight thing. And I did a very slight conversion to a model. And And that model is this guy right here, Master Wu from from Relic Knights. And you can say, okay, well, Octave, you already have Master Wu. I've seen you post pictures of him and you play him and what kind of stuff like that. What have you done? For you anime fans out there, where do you think I would be going with this model? So obviously I took his swords off and I did a real quick head swap there. So I'm gonna start to paint him up. You anime fans may recognize the reference as we get going. So this is tonight's task, is we're gonna paint this guy and then we'll just take it from there. Okay, so why don't you guys chime in, let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Corey, I'm gonna pick on you. Are you painting your now that you put together your guild ball? Now we're gonna want to paint it. We're definitely gonna want to paint it, you guys, because I did inform them that I did inform Steamforge today that our tournament at Kingdom Con is at full registration, and we are seeking bronze level sanctions so that we can be a sanctioned tournament. It sounds like that's not going to be an issue, and they're really excited to see what kind of scene we build here in Southern California. So for those of you guys that are jumping in or have jumped in, you know, honestly, welcome to the ground floor. Welcome to ground zero. This is going to be the start of what I think is going to be a fairly prosperous gaming community, and it's already got a really solid foundation. You know, this area, all of us all know each other. We've played different games together, and we know the scene. And yeah, I think it's going to be fantastic. Really looking forward to it, and I just can't wait to see like what this scene is going to look like in a year or 2 years from now, because I do think that the game has got that kind of legs underneath it. So let's see. I want to paint, however, my airbrush is out of commission, so I can't do the base coat yet. Fair enough. I should be painting Meat Hook. She's third of the way done on my paint table. Have not touched her since I went to Las Vegas. Yeah, no worries. So look at that. Does this actually? I wonder if I can paint eyes on this fancy camera, if it will show the work I will do here on the eyes. Hint, yes, this model does. The head I selected does have slanted eyes. Asian eyes. We'll call them Oriental eyes. Ha! Are we allowed to say that? I don't know. I don't know the stupid rules anymore. What words are okay, what words aren't. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. See, David Luff got the reference already, and we haven't done the painting yet. So yes, you are right, David. That is that is the inspiration for this converted Master Wu. I am going for One Punch Man here. So so good. I can't paint eyes at all. Tried 3 times with Meat Hook, messed them up each time. Yeah, eyes. I still don't think I do them very well, but it just, I don't know. It's just one of those things. And you want to know the worst part about it is, not only do I not do the eyes very well, but I have this compulsion to do them no matter what. Like if you look at my my Ninja All-Star stuff, some of those models have slanted eyes, and they're actually you're supposed to paint them so that you can't see the eyes. And I put them in anyway, just because, and they look weird. Like my Son Goku miniature looks like he's been puffing that sweet Chiba. So there's that. And I have the compulsion to paint that way. It's like I need my models I need to know that I painted those eyes in. Even if you don't see them, I need to know. So let's see. Also on Friday, I'm going to set up a paint day for Paradise for the first week of April. Nice. Good job, Corey. Okay. Yeah, paint days are fun. We'll have to watch out for Guild Ball here in Northern Virginia. Yeah, the scene on the East Coast, the Guild Ball scene on the East Coast is you could argue that it's already fairly established. I mean, they've got a number of tournaments there. They have an active scene. They have, you guys have Guild Ball Tonight, that podcast. I know Bill's in the Virginia area, and Phil, the host, is in the Florida area. So, cutting out the online cards for my Brewers, nice. So yeah, so you do have, on the East Coast, you do have some of that scene there. Corey, I was going to ask you if you are going to be at Paradise tomorrow night, because I got to get the mats down for, oh geez. See what I did there? That was terrible. I got to get the mats down for the Saturday event, because unfortunately I won't be able to attend the Saturday event. But I got to get the mats there. So I was going to go down there tomorrow night after a dentist appointment, and see if I could pick up a game of something. Preferably Guild Ball or Wrath of Kings or something like that. And if not, if I can't get a game, I'll just drive back and catch a game in Orange County. I can be there. And thank you for the mats. Yeah, I'm bringing you 3 mats. And because, yes, I'm going to be keeping 1 for myself in case I manage to get any gaming. And so the plan is I'm going to bring you 3 mats. Leon, who says he's coming down on Saturday, will be bringing a 4th mat for you guys to play. And then possibly Sunday, if you're around, David, maybe we can meet up either at Ease or Paradise or whatever, and we can catch a game early in the morning, and I can pick up the mats. Let me know if that's going to work for you. Not, we'll figure something out. I don't need the mats back urgently. I will need them prior to April 2nd and 3rd, because we do have another event. As you know, you've seen some of the planning of that going past you. So we do have another event that I need the mats back for. But that's, we're talking a month or so away, so we're fine there. Let's see. Guild Ball cards are available for purchase, super cheap too. Yeah, I've been considering just buying the set, just so I have a full official set. I do prefer the way we do them, where we print them out on one side and don't flip the cards, but it's good to have the official cards as well. And for the price they're selling them for, I think it's totally worth buying. We can play some Guild Ball. Nice. Yeah, for sure. I'll bring my Guild Ball, and we'll leave the mat. So I'm going to leave the mats there with the store staff. I've already talked to Glenn about it. He said, yeah, go ahead and just leave him there with his staff and leave his name on it, and you guys should be good to go for Saturday. So yeah, I did buy this camera, which is awesome, because what I'm hoping is I'd like to do some live streaming of games. So now we've got 3. So now, like I said, 3 cameras, and we've got good angles for games. Let's see. Hello, Tori. What's up? I can't meet Sunday, but I can meet you to play next weekend, 12 or 13. I can't do. Next weekend's absolutely out. Unfortunately, it's my wife's birthday, so I will be taking a gaming. I will not be doing any gaming the following weekend. We'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. We can maybe plan for the weekend after or something like that. Okay, so Camera is nice. Focus is good. So for you One Punch Man fans, Saitama has his eyes are really weird. Like he has really tiny pupils. And I don't know that I can do that. I don't know that I can let's see what I can do. Let's see if I can get a really tiny little pupil in on those. 19th and 20th. Yeah, I should be able to meet up with you on the 19th and 20th. It would be preferable if you could come a little bit closer towards me, but we'll work that out. My wife's birthday is a Saturday of Kingdom Con. Yeah, that's right. That's right. She's a very kind, understanding person for allowing you to do some gaming with us on her birthday. She could be like my wife, who is, wow, what's going on with the camera? Getting like a, are you guys seeing that? You see that? The little like those lines just chipping across the screen like that? That's weird. That's not a sign of things to come with this camera. Be really disappointed. All right, let's see. Yeah, hopefully that goes away, or I would be very disappointed. I may have to go back to the old camera. So I'm just going to do 2 little dots. I'm not going to fill out the eyes the way I typically would. And it's refusing to focus. Yeah. So much for this camera. Well, let's give it a shot. It started off really well. And I got it for a really good price on Amazon. I was considering going with that, with the C920, the Logitech. That's what everyone tells you to use for shooting videos. This is a little disappointing. So my Saitama here, he's got kind of crazy eyes. There it goes. It's focusing, but I still got that line coming through. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the skin. Yeah, my wife is really nice. I mean, we spent the last 2 or 3 anniversaries. Our wedding anniversary is in July, and we spent the last 2 or 3 wedding anniversaries at Comic-Con, which is, I mean, that's really kind of sad. I may be paying for that in the years to come. I don't know. Maybe when we're old, she'll go, I remember. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, she enjoys Comic-Con. She likes the whole, she really likes the whole cosplay aspect and that kind of stuff. But she's not a comic book fan. She's my wife is a bit more mainstream in that regard, or maybe quite a bit less geeky than I am with regards to the whole comic book, sci-fi, all that stuff. But yeah, we spent the past couple of anniversaries at Comic-Con. This year, Comic-Con falls later in July, so at least we'll have our anniversary outside of Comic-Con. So we'll have our anniversary before Comic-Con happens, and then Comic-Con is supposed to be at the end the end of the month. Speaking of which, I got to start looking for a hotel. Comic-Con is, it's really, I don't know. I've come to the conclusion that it's, after you do it for a couple times, most years it's not worth your money. It's not worth the money and the time you have to take off work and the crazy hotel room prices and that stuff. And not even just the hotel, but like going to Comic-Con is like living on an island for a week, because that area, the convention center and the surrounding hotels, all your food is like going to be crazy expensive. And so you have to, like, you're going to be eating like over hotel food or overpriced, stuff on the street. And yeah, if the savvy person's going to do their damnedest to get, to bring their own food and try to save a little bit of money, but it's just not convenient all the time. It's just not a something that you can really control as well as you'd like to. So here's the face thus far. Come on, focus. So yeah, the eyes are a little bit bigger than Saitama than they really should be, but it's a goofy bald face. At least there's that. I mean, at least it's kind of funny. So I'm gonna paint a little bit of teeth right there. And then so for tomorrow night, I'll see who we can round up for a game or two at Paradise. I should be there, barring traffic. I should hopefully get out of my my dentist appointment a little bit before 5, so that probably puts me down there at around 6. All right, so now let's do Saitama skin. I need it for a break. I stay with friends that I know in San Diego, which is nice. My whole issue with me and cons, though, full disclosure, guys, is when I go to cons and I'm there for multiple days, I really have to have my own space. I really, and even stuff like Kingdom Con, which, by the way, you should go to. Anyone watching, I need my own space, because it's like gaming and all that stuff is super fun. But at the end of the night, I kind of need my peace and quiet. I'm still an old man when it comes down to it. I still gotta get. And if I'm staying in somebody's house, then there's like the weird neuroses, like, oh man, I'm putting somebody out or something like that. That's my own like baggage. Like, I am a huge I'm a huge proponent of having my individual space. I mean, even here in my home, my wife and I maintain separate bedrooms, and we stay with each other, but we also we'll sleep apart. It's just more comfortable that way, and we're both very, very independent people. We lead fairly independent lives. It's interesting enough that the stuff that how different we are. Luckily, we have some really cool stuff in common, but we are very different people, my wife and I. So, and it's good to. It's one of the things that I think we really find attractive about one another is how autonomous we are, and so our own space makes sense. Now that said, that said, it'll be interesting to see, as our living situations change over the years, my son getting older, all that stuff. Or at some point I can see us having to share more and more bedroom space and that kind of thing. But I think we'll be fine with it. It's just nice to have to be able to have different areas of the home where we can retreat to, and just kind of do our own thing. For me, it's this hobby. It's gaming and painting miniatures and stuff, and she doesn't do any of this stuff. And there's a part of me that wishes she did, but then there's also a part of me that's really glad that she doesn't, because it's I can see it being a little more complicated. Like if my wife was like fully embroiled in all this stuff, trying to plan events with her, yeah, it would be cool to have her full support on stuff, so that I can say, oh yeah, I'm going to be at Kingdom Con. She could be the one to say, well, why don't you stay till Sunday, and I'll help you, run some events and all that kind of stuff. Um, that side of it's good. But if I can imagine my wife getting involved in some of these like gaming spats and stuff, that would be really bad. So, it's a double-edged sword. Everybody wants, when you see the couples gaming together and that kind of stuff, you think it's cool, but there's another side to it. So anyway, let's see. I hear you on that. I'm a grown-ass man. I need my own room. Yeah. No, and yeah, it's expensive. It costs me a little bit more money to do that, but I just need that space. I used to, I've done cons before where back in the old days, like I'd let Jake crash in my room or whatever for the night. For whatever reason, it wasn't so bad because it's usually like one night and we were both drunk anyway, so we just pass out. So it's not a big deal. But yeah, having your own space as you get older is just so important, especially when you travel for work. Like what I do is, I do a bit of travel, and you just get used to it. You get used to having that hotel space by yourself. You get used to it being a nice little spot for you to retreat to. And so when you go to a con, you still want that. You still want that experience in the hotel. Like you want to be able to just enjoy it for what it is. So let's see. Everyone needs their own space. A good beer after gaming. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm always down for that, especially at cons. We've been gaming all day. You want to relax, have a beer. I'm a sake guy personally, but I love beer too. But sake is like, Kingdom Con is nice because it's I consider, even though I know that area enough to where I know where to find beer, and especially sake. Like I know how to get to the I know how to get to the Bevmo from the hotel, and that's important because I know which sake I want from the Bevmo. So suffices to say, Thursday night, Friday night, I will drive into town and make sure I have enough of my favorite sake for the con. So let's see. Well, not my house because my house is tiny, but at cons. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like you're going to Adepticon. That's an opportunity there for you to have your own space and just enjoy it. Because it is a flying con though, a lot of people are going to end up having to bunk together and that kind of thing. That's normal. Some people are the other way though. Some people tell me, that's part of the experience of flying out to an Adepticon or a Gen Con or something, is bunking with somebody that maybe you don't know so well before the con. Maybe it's somebody that's kind of a friend that you game with or whatever, and then you share a room with them for a few days, and you know them a lot better, and maybe you like them, maybe you hate them now, but from what I've seen, it's there's a lot of people have good experiences or fun experiences bunking together at cons too. I just don't see that as being me. I don't see myself really being being too keen on that. I really do like having my own space at the end of the day. Love gaming with the gamers and stuff. Love having the big crowds and stuff when we're playing during the day. But when it's time for me to turn in, it's time for me to turn in. I don't want to have a late night conversation with anybody, or if somebody wants to stay awake, I don't feel like I'm putting them to bed early because I'm an old man and I want to go to sleep. So there's that. So if you are going to bunk with people, make sure be prepared to stay up later than you'd like, and be prepared to share a bathroom. Woo, that's another thing. Never flew to a con before Adepticon. I'm old. I have a good job. I need my own room. For real. That's my whole take on it. There is a little bit of guilt though when people are like, "Hey, can I need to room with somebody," and I'm like, I don't really like doing that, and I'm gonna avoid that at all costs. But hey, it's to each their own, right? That's I'm just gonna be that way. So you guys can call me a dick, whatever. It's just what it is. Let's see. Make sure the people you bunk with aren't the weird, smelly con guys. I'm going to take that as very good advice, Cameron. I don't think you should ever bunk with weird, smelly con guys, ever. Like, regardless if you're going to a con or not, you just shouldn't bunk with weird, smelly guys. Yeah. Or something really horrifying. If you remember the old, for you guys that remember the old Malifaux days, when I was doing like, a dozen or more different cons per year. This is before my kid, actually. And, my wife and I were, it's just us, and we had lots of disposable income, or so we said. We probably should have put a whole lot of that away and done something useful with it. But we considered it expendable or disposable income. I would get a hotel for every single con, and I would go to 12, 13 cons a year, and spend the whole weekends there, and have the room all to myself, and just enjoy it. And I thought it was awesome. But thousands of dollars. That's thousands of dollars just flushed down the drain, essentially, for my convention habit. That said, though, I mean, I have really, really good memories of all those cons, and I don't necessarily consider it, wasted money. That's all good stuff as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna make myself a yellow glaze here. Yes, snorers. Ooh, yeah. I do one day, and we're probably talking 5 years down the line. At some point, I do really want to get back to Gen Con. Gen Con was such an experience for me. Ooh, that is way, way thick yellow paint. Wow, I hate that when that happens. Gen Con was such an experience for me. What was that, 2011, 2012? I think it was 2011 when I went. And my wife went with me, which was awesome. And we spent the whole week down there at Gen Con. Once again, obviously, this was before the boy. And our experience in Indianapolis, and there was a biker convention going on at the same time, which was really awesome, because we were doing Malifaux stuff, and I was my wife and I were both steampunk pretty much the entire con. This is what she loves about cons, is that she can go an entire week of being in costumes all day long, every day, just be in costumes. So we were steampunk the entire week. And what was cool about that was the fact that during the bike con, we had a lot of like black leather stuff on, and we had that kind of gear on. Like, we fit in to both conventions at the same time. And so that was really neat to be able to just go, yeah, we look like we could be attending either convention. And so that was super fun. And Gen Con is a much more, Adepticon, from what I gather, I haven't been to Adepticon. I want to go to Adepticon. But from what I gather, Adepticon really is, the focus on Adepticon really is the gaming, really is the tournaments, really is the gaming scene. Whereas Gen Con's a little more panoramic in scope. Gen Con is a lot of gaming, but then, like I was saying, it's cosplay. There's other events, like kind of, it's almost like Comic-Con plus gaming. Comic-Con, all the cosplay and stuff with Comic-Con, and just replace the major film studios with game companies. And I think that's what you get. Let's see. Man, that line is not. This camera is really disappointing me. And I don't know. Maybe I should turn on the other camera. Maybe I have, maybe there's a bug. Maybe I have a process or something running in the background that's making this whole thing a little bit worse. I need to fix my yellow anyway. Let's see. My dad took me Gen Con in '83. He's not a gamer at all, but I was. Still a great memory, but not just the con, but my dad was doing stuff with me that I wanted to do when I was 13. Wow. Yeah, my wife has family there in Indiana. And so the thought was, we'll take the whole family, me, her, and baby, who'll probably be a little bit older at this time, and they'll spend time with family there, and I'll sneak off for a day or two and head over to Gen Con. For those of you guys who have never gone to Gen Con, I absolutely feel that as a gamer, you really should do everything you can to save up and go for 1 year. Just go 1 year. You don't even have to do multiple years, but to experience it, 1 year is absolutely worth it. If it's between Gen Con and Comic Con, even if you're not that much of a gamer, I would still pick Gen Con. I would still pick Gen Con as the must experience thing. Because it's just it's a great con. The Indianapolis is actually a lot more fun than I thought, and they do cool stuff in the town. Now, Comic-Con is actually more, in my opinion, it's more entertaining, or at least as entertaining, to be doing stuff in the town than walking around the convention hall. To me, walking around the Comic-Con convention hall really isn't that big of a deal when you've done it, a couple times. That's it. Like, there's some exclusive stuff. Some people really go in for the exclusive stuff on the floor, or, they want to get the signings. They want to go to panels. I don't do that stuff. Therefore, for me personally, it's not as big a deal. So just understand that when I say that I won between Comic-Con and Gen Con, I'd much rather do Gen Con. 2, if you're going to do Comic-Con, you're going to have at least as much fun off-site than you are walking around the hall. And if you don't have tickets to Comic-Con, even more reason to just go into town and enjoy the atmosphere of San Diego during Comic-Con, because it really is pretty cool. I forgot, what color is Saitama's belt? When you guys let me know. I'm afraid to actually flip over to. Well, here I'll look at it on my phone here. Let's see. That's me and Adepticon family. They're in Chicago. Wife is coming too, and we'll meet with family after. See how convenient that is? I was just talking about Chicago today and how badly I want to go back to Chicago. It's been about 3 years since I've gone, and I have fun in Chicago. And as somebody, I used to travel to Chicago 2 or 3 times a year on business. And, whoa. See, it's this. There you go. And despite going to Chicago 2 to 3 times per year, Seattle, Miami, and all that stuff, Chicago was still one of my favorite places to go. What pizza did you eat? That is the best question. Okay. There's a message retracted. Let's see. Okay. So in Chicago, obviously the big deal with pizza is deep dish, right? So they say, oh, go to Giordano's. Giordano's is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's okay. Pizzeria Uno, I like. I thought Pizzeria Uno is great. That's a good one. That's not my favorite place for pizza in Chicago. And I'm going to share this with you guys, but I do not like this getting out. Very secretive about this because it's my joint, all right? So here's where you go in Chicago, and I'm sure Dave knows about this. 2121 North Clark Street. Go to Chicago Pizza Oven Grinder. Get yourself, and you got to do it at least once. Even if you don't like it, do this at least once when you're in Chicago. Go get yourself a pizza pot pie. The only place you can get it ever, this is really the only place you can ever get it, is like I said, Chicago Pizza Oven Grinder. And yes, I have the address memorized because when I'm in town, whenever I'm in Chicago and I'm traveling with somebody who's never been to Chicago, I make sure we do that because it's awesome. I love pizza pot pie. It's brilliant. And they only take cash. It's a teeny tiny little place that the locals really like. So you want to get there somewhat early. And the guy who seats you is a guy from El Salvador, and he looks when you say, okay, you tell him the number in your party. He'll look you in the eyes, he'll look you in the face, and doesn't write anything down, and he will seat everybody in order, in the order that he remember. Like he's got some kind of crazy face memory or something. My friend was talking to him in Spanish, and he explained, I never forget a face, and he sits people exactly in the order that they got there. So this is my secret to Chicago. Please don't tell people about this unless you are going yourself. Then do this because this is important stuff. So, yeah. So get out there. Go to get the pizza pot pie. So what you want to do, just get the standard pizza pot pie. You can go white or wheat. White is fine. White is fantastic. And then get the Mediterranean bread. And that's going to be enough for you. Okay. You don't need to order the large sizes or anything. This is going to be plenty for you to eat. And have a nice beer. The place is about the size of, the place is for you local gamers. The place isn't any bigger than, say, the front half of Addie's games. It's about the size of the gaming side of Paradise Games. How about that? It's a tiny little hole in the wall. Check it out. Trust me, just do it once. Even if you come back and say, Octave, I didn't like it, wasn't that big of a deal, you need to experience it. It's really neat. So again, pizza pot pie. Let's see. I missed a bunch of comments. Been to Dragon Con once, but attend Historic Con almost yearly since 1990. Yeah, Historic Con looks awesome every time I see that. And I do, and Dragon Con is on my bucket list. I do want to go to Dragon Con. The only issue I have with Dragon Con is people tell me it's always like a warm time of year there. And so hot in Hotlanta doesn't, I don't know, get a little worried about that. That said, Atlanta, I really like chicken and waffles. And if you go to Gladys Knight's place in Atlanta and get the chicken and waffles there, it's all. See, all my travel stuff is based on where to eat. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for me. I gotta like where I eat. Let's see. Historicana has a gamers flea market and picked up my science fiction and fantasy miniatures there. Great prices. Nice. Oh, wow, that looks really good. I'm a Giordano's guy. Also, Portillo's Italian beef. I just went to Portillo's today. One of my coworkers just recently discovered Portillo's. And he's like, yeah, man, you know, there's Portillo's in Buena Park. Can we go? So we took him out there. At Portillo's, I really like the street Polish dog with the grilled onions. That's like my favorite thing there at Portillo's. I've been to the original Portillo's site, which is, I want to say, that's the site that's close to the border with Indiana. I believe that's the original Portillo's. Yeah, I really enjoy that place as well. So yeah. So yeah, that's the what I really like. Yeah, they do. They have it's in Buena Park. It's here by, it's right by Knott's Berry Farm. So when you're up in OC, when you come up to Brookhurst sometime, we'll go for lunch. It's not that far from Brookhurst. Yeah, but yes, they do have Portillo's here in California. They don't yet, in my opinion, they don't yet have a decent deep dish place. They try. California's trying to bring deep dish over here. They've so far, in my opinion, and you know, I have a pretty good resume for pizza eating. I don't think we're quite there yet. So let's see. If you can go to a Historicana, a good place to eat is Good and Plenty, an Amish-run restaurant. Gotta love anything that the Amish run, which is awesome. Chicago as a town, just in my opinion, best city to eat in the country for the sheer variety of food that they offer. Just some of the like, you know, we're just talking pizza and a little bit of hot dogs, but the sheer variety of stuff that they offer that you can get in Chicago, and the dining experience there is fantastic. But you know, Chicago also has some really, really good Greek restaurants. Chicago has I don't know, just really, really good places to eat. And that's one of the big reasons why I never really got bored of that town, is there was always something new to discover. I mean, just the fact that I'm talking here with Dave about, you know, places that I eat in Chicago that he doesn't know about, and vice versa, that should speak something. Yeah, if you like meat, Chicago is the place for you. I will say this about Chicago cuisine, though. Their Japanese food is not really there. That's where California, we're going to, you know, Chicago has us beat up and down on the pizza side, on the beef side, Italian sausage, Greek, all that stuff. But I've been to a couple of Japanese places, some of the higher end Japanese places in Chicago, and not impressed. Not impressed compared to, you know, what you can get out here in California. So yeah. When we took a coworker out there, and she was like, I want to go to a Japanese place. I was like, really? This really isn't the city for that. There's at least a dozen better suggestions for food in Chicago. But for sure, if you're going to Chicago, eat something heavy and meaty, because that's all their best cuisine is designed around that. All right, I gotta find out what color Saitama's belt is. Okay, so he has a black belt, and he has red gloves and red, I believe he has red boots. Here's some, for you non-anime fans, here's some shots of Saitama. So you can see he has a goofy face there. He's got the white cape. This is red gloves, and it's a pretty simple paint job. And you can see where I'm going with it here. So real simple, and the white the white and gray cloak I've already airbrushed. So there's that. Let's see. I moved here from Chicago in '93, so I'm kind of out of the loop. Yeah. I do really like my experiences in Chicago. I don't think I could ever live there because they're just those times of the year. I made the mistake of going to Chicago during the winter, or too deep into the winter, a couple of years working for Bear, and it just and from then on, I told the lab there, it's like, don't expect me here this time of year ever again. So, but that said, I really do love Chicago. I miss Chicago. I want to go back, and I can decide for work that I want to be back there. Actually, I probably will be back there. Not for Adepticon. I'm gonna miss Adepticon yet again, but I got to be out there for work anyway. So Pizza Pot Pie is back in my future. I showed my wife that, and I showed her on like Food Network and that kind of stuff. They always say, oh, some of the best experiences of pizza in the country and all that stuff. Pizza Pot Pie is always on the list. And she looked at that and she's like, it's like the easiest thing in the world to make, but it's amazing. It's amazing. I really enjoy it. I don't know that you'd call it true pizza though. It's just a different kind of experience. One Punch. I have not watched One Punch yet, but I've heard it's good anime. It is. For me, it's the best anime I've watched in 2015. I'd say that. I can say that. For me, I feel this is the best anime show that I've seen in the past year. Really funny, good story. The characters are fantastic. The characters are off the hook fantastic. Like, I could see One Punch Man, under the hands of a skilled director, being a really good live action movie. It's almost, in a sense, and Cameron, you feel free to hop in here. Oh, see you, Corey. Yeah, have a good night, Corey. In a sense, this is almost like the anime version of The Tick. It's a spoof on superheroes, but it's got that anime. It's got that anime slant to it. No pun intended. I'm allowed to say that, guys. I'm not going to get in trouble for that. So, with it being anime, the fights are much more overpowered than they are in, say, The Tick. The bad guys are much more epic because it's an anime. But it is just wall to wall good. It is good, and it's actually a little deeper than you think. Like with a title like One Punch Man, you're like, okay, I get it. It's kind of goofy, whatever. No, there's a little more to this than that. I mean, yeah, he's a dude that can defeat things with one punch. That shouldn't be a surprise to you, based on the title. But it's a really good anime. The characters are fantastic. The side characters just are amazing. The Tank Top Brothers, holy crap! Like, I lose my crap. What was the guy? Newman Ryder. He just rides a bike. He's a bike messenger superhero guy. Amazing. I would say this, even if you don't like anime, One Punch Man is totally worth checking out because it's just it's just entertaining. It's cool to watch, and I don't know, I just really like it. Yeah, Newman Ryder's awesome. He's like one of my favorite guys. I really like Newman Ryder. The Tank Top Tiger, come on, that stuff is freaking amazing. Obviously, what's the cyborg's name? Geno, or I forget his name. Really cool. He's like the more serious character than Saitama. Yeah, man, it's just a good just a good show. Recommend it. Highly recommend it. And like I said, it's the best anime I've watched last year. And I wouldn't even just say that. It's probably one of the most entertaining shows I've watched last year, flat out. So yeah. So after watching One Punch Man, I really decided, you know, I need to have a One Punch Man reference in the miniatures game. Obviously, Relic Knights is going to be the system I'd play for One Punch Man, and now Master Wu doesn't really have like a crazy high damage single punch ability, but the miniature morphologically with a couple of snips really kind of fits the bill here. Let's see. Speaking of which, so he has, yeah, see, he's only, I mean, his highest output damage is damage 6. That's not much. He's no, like, if you want a One Punch Man for Relic Knights, really you should be using Navari Hauer. But no, I'm happy with this, and I'm totally gonna field him as like the One Punch Man. If you're really into Gundam, Iron Blood Orphans is really good. I never really got into Gundam. Loved the toys growing up. Never really got into the anime there. So, and look at how easy this color scheme is. It was just like a, in fact, you know what I got to do is I got to mount him on this thing. This camera is disappointing with the lighting, you know, with that line that keeps going by and all that. And the focus is okay. What do you think? Does that look like Saitama? It does to me. Pretty good Saitama. I'm going to paint in some of the lighting effects on the ground there. I need like a, you could do electric blue, or I could do like a plasma green. Iron Blood on my list. I really haven't, this year I haven't picked up much anime. I'm watching a pretty terrible one right now. It's really not good, but it's one of those things where when you start watching the show, you just have to finish it. And so the show I'm watching is Chivalry of a Failed Knight. You can watch it on Hulu. I don't recommend watching it. So don't watch it. But that's what I'm watching right now. It's I don't know. It's way formulaic. It's way too tropey. You know, the fact is, I like anime, but there's a lot of just like mediocre or bad or flat out bad anime out there. So always, you know, anything we can do to recommend good anime to one another, I think is a good idea. So, okay. I cannot find my fluo green. As you can hear from my off camera, I have a really complicated filing system. I have a really extensive filing system. I do need that. Where's that fluo green though, really? I could probably use Val green. Huh. No fluo green. How weird. I got lots of scorpion green. I got livery green. Would that be my fluo green? Val green. Green. I know fluo green is going to show up the minute I'm done painting this. How is it not here? All right, we'll do scorpion green. I'll just do scorpion green. It'll work. Yeah, I'm gonna do scorpion green. Okay. Lex Luthor. I guess he kind of looks like Lex Luthor. I got to do the extreme highlight on the white too. We'll get to that. No, that's not quite a deep enough green. So I'm going to mix a little foul green in it. Ooh, that has a little more of a gray tinge to it. This whole lack of fluo green is starting to make me mad. Yeah. Maybe I lent it to somebody. Normally, that would not surprise me if I had. Oh, scorpion green. Yeah, okay. Told the wife about your pizza place. She is intrigued. Yes. Once again, 2121 North Clark Street. It's on the north side of town. And tiny little hole in the wall. Remember to bring cash. They only take cash. And hopefully you enjoy it. If not, at least you can say you've had it. I haven't had anybody tell me that they didn't enjoy it, though. Maybe they're trying to be nice to me because I am kind of the boss most of the time when I'm doing this, so I don't know. But hopefully. Do you use a color wheel? The latest Guild Ball tonight had a segment on it. I do not use a color wheel, and I actually was looking at one the other day. I was in a art supply store, and I was going, you know what? I should really just use a color wheel. But no, I don't use one. It would be a great idea to do that, but I don't know. Okay. So there's that. Let's let that dry. I need to do some more yellow highlighting. Okay. But yeah, tell me if like all of that stuff is still true. That you're seated by a man from El Salvador who remembers everyone's face and for sure get the Mediterranean Mediterranean bread. It's a neat little appetizer. Just a little more yellow highlighting here. Ooh, I may have to come back and use an ink to blend all these back together. It's not the end of the world, but the yellow's looking pretty good. Real simple miniature to paint. So I'm gonna have to pack my bag for tomorrow, because like I said, once I get off work, I have to go to a dentist appointment, and then it's straight down to Paradise. I gotta pack up those 3 pitches. They'll be in a black zip-up bag. Okay. Well, that's pretty good so far. The local Alamo Draft House is showing Psycho Pass movie this month. Nice. I really liked Psycho Pass. That was another one of my more favorite anime to watch. Was Psycho Pass. Really neat kind of dystopian universe there. Let's see if so I'm just gonna put in a white highlight, just so get a sharp line here. I'll paint that in. Okay. Yeah, Glenn told me to just put leave them back there with my name or his name on it, and he would make sure that they're good to go for Saturday. I am a bit bummed that I'm not playing Saturday, but you know, it's not my wife's fault. It's her theater festival. Originally, she thought that she would be able to just show up for her segment, which would have freed her up during the day, but they're saying no, they want to beef up security, which means they want the teachers there the entire time. And that obviously means I cannot play because I will be watching our son, which I'm not, you know, I really enjoy doing. I love spending all my time with my kid, and just would be nice to get in some guild ball with the group again. But hey, you know, knowing us, it's not really gonna be long before we do it again. And you know, we're gonna prepare to have a good tournament for Kingdom Con. So that means more events. That means painting events like the one Corey's lining up. That means some more like organized play where we start to practice playing under the time clock. Maybe even like an undercard tournament or something prior, so that we have a tournament under our belts. I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff there. A lot of cool stuff to look forward to. Also, Glenn knows everyone in tabletop gaming, apparently. Yeah, it seems like it. But I guess if you know, after a while, you get to know everybody. Good or bad, you get to know everybody. Like my whole Corey's doing a painting. Yeah, he's trying to he said that he's going to try to schedule a painting event for Paradise. You know, kind of like the painting events that I throw in Orange County, where it's kind of just get together, bring your stuff, and we all sit down and paint and you know, share tips, that kind of thing. I'm going to do my best to make it there because Corey's been to a couple of my paint days up in OC. It's been a while, actually. I owe my LGS a paint day. But luckily, they've been busy with a bunch of other events, so they really haven't been bugging me to do another one. That said, I have a lot of fun at paint days. It's just, you realize that painting can be really fun. A lot of people look at it as a chore, but when you do it in a group like that, And you just got a bunch of guys, guys and gals sitting around, you know, talking the mess while they're painting. It's a lot of fun. It would be nice to do. I would like to theme the painting events around Kingdom Con. Like, hey, we want to have a sanctioned event for Kingdom Con. We all need to kind of chip in and do our part and make sure that we're going to have a good sanctioned event, that we're going to put on a good enough show, a good enough tournament to be worthy of, to be worthy of something like a larger championship the following year. And I'll tell you guys right now, like, there's no, that they are, Guild Ball, Steamforged is looking at more official events in the U.S., and they are looking at, they did say that they're looking at an East Coast and a West Coast sites for national championships. And we're over here in SoCal, we're in the prime area for a West Coast event. So anyway, food for thought. So I really think it's important for us to to put our best foot forward, and to show the Steamforged that, hey, if we are in Kingdom Con, I think it's a good place for the national event. All right, let's paint in his belt. There's not much going on in this miniature, but I'm already fairly happy with him. I don't want to overpaint him, especially with red and yellow color scheme. I don't want to overpaint him. I want it to be very, very painfully obvious to people who are fans of the show to know what my reference is here. Also, like I was saying, I really want to get to doing some live stream stuff. So I have the camera. I have another camera, which is not doing so well hot right now, but I have another camera. I have an upgraded microphone. So I'm slowly building towards a better capability for streaming games. And I really do want to focus on streaming some Guild Ball. I'm hoping that with Cameron and Chris playing Guild Ball now, that they put together a video to two on their channel. Listen while you play, because it's always entertaining to watch. So I really like that. Look at that. Okay, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. And let's. So I'm going to do this color here, verdigris, and this is going to go sit in the little cracks. Probably one of the simplest paint schemes I've done in recent memory. Yeah, I gotta remember to pack bags tonight. Wondering if I should bring. I should probably just bring Guild Ball. I'd like to bring Wrath of Kings or Relic Knights and play one of those. I just don't see that happening. still more complicated paint scheme than the source material. This is true. You can see, believe it or not, that anime, the animation in that anime is incredibly good. They just draw, most of the time when you see Saitama, they have him drawn like a caricature. He looks really goofy. He's got these beady eyeballs and the bald head, and he's a very comical character. But he's One Punch Man, so when he does lose it, and when he does actually get into a fight, the animation like really, really picks up on him, and then you're like, holy crap, these guys really do know how to draw. And so there's, you'll see it for a moment. He'll look like the coolest guy ever, punching somebody out just like that. And then he'll go right back to goofy Saitama. All right, so let's see. Guess I'm going to do this basalt gray and paint the base. Oh, I got an ink. I'm going to run an ink on all over him. Question is, do I want to use my Vallejo ink, or do I want to use my P3 ink? I think I'm going to do my P3 ink. P3 ink is a little more opaque, but it's really intense. So it should be pretty cool. So I'm going to mix some P3 ink. Let's drop a little glaze medium in it. Where'd my glaze medium go? And like a drop of water, because it's already pretty thin. And that's a little too yellow. Maybe I'll put a teensy little drop of red in it and get there you go. Like that was like a half drop of red in there. There we go. So that's good. That's going to give me a little more of a deeper yellow. No, it's still not quite there. I do need a little more red ink. There we go. So you can see I'm just like really parceling it out. There we go. So now it's like a sunny yellow is what I'm going for. And it looks like I've got it there. You're probably not going to be able to catch any of this on camera. That should blend everything together quite nicely. Yeah, there we go. Looking pretty good. And quite good. Okay. Wow. It looks like definitely not the most intricate color scheme I've ever done, but it does the trick. It's effective. He does look like, to me, he does look like One Punch Man, and it should be fairly unmistakable to fans of the show who I'm going for here. All right, so now let's go with the basalt gray. And this guy is almost done. We plan on doing photographic reports with commentary. Okay, cool. I'm hoping like I can have a local come over and do to stream games with me. Now the issue is we'd have to do it here at my house, and my house is not. I mean, we've had multiple people over here for gaming, but for recording, it really should only be one other person. If there is going to be a third person here, they're just going to kind of have to sit there in silence, which is not very fun. Maybe they would work the camera angles or whatever. But yeah, for the most part, we just want to do 2 people streaming a game of Bat Rep. And I want to do Guild Ball, obviously, but I also want to do Wrath of Kings, Relic Knights, and who knows, maybe we'll do a Ninja All-Stars stream too. Well, this basalt gray is really, really thin. It's acting really, really thin on me. Let's see if we can get this to work. So I'm just going to paint around this. This is I think they call this a Tau Ceti base from Secret Weapon. And it's a neat looking base. It's obviously going to bring some interest to the model. And all I really have to do is just treat it with a fair bit of respect. Make sure that all my cutting and line drawing is nice and even and straight. And really the rest of it will just take care of itself. It's a neat little base that you don't have to do a whole lot to get it to look cool. Yeah, so as far as Guild Ball, for sure, I feel like YouTube needs more channels for Guild Ball. I want to be one of those channels that puts out Guild Ball content. It sounds like Cameron wants to be one too. Fantastic. Because I think more of them will pop up. And you'll start to see Guild Ball covered by the more popular YouTube channels, which is, as you guys know, it's a double-edged sword there. Okay. So far, so good. Looking pretty good. We're going to let that gray dry for a minute. Because I actually got to go through and hit this with I'll hit it with a bright ink to really bring out the effect. I'm trying to get it, more of like a futuristic lighting effect on the base. And yes, it is next to impossible to do OSL on tiny little intricate pieces like this and not obscure too much of the detail, but convey the idea that it's lit. That's the tricky part. Because like if I paint this like this, and I don't spend a little extra effort making sure that the white that I'm putting down is behaving more like a light, then it's not gonna look good. It's not gonna look as authentic or as sharp. There we go. Okay, just need that to dry down. Whew, man. Yeah, we're going to cut this show a little bit short once this is done. Mainly because I have to pack for tomorrow. Because I've got to put all this stuff in the car so that I can just drive straight down. I'll let that dry. And we're going to put... I want to run an ink through there. I could run either a turquoise ink or a green ink or even like a green wash. This might not be a bad idea to do the wash instead of the ink, because the ink may be a little too strong. I don't know. Let's look at the intensity of the ink and see. That's fairly intense, but I can fix that, as opposed to this Buell-Tan green, which is actually Buell-Tan green looks a little more organic, so it's kind of cool. I don't know. Might go with the Buell-Tan green. Yeah, sure. Why not? We're just about there. Let's do the Buell-Tan green and call it a night. What I like about the Buell-Tan green in these washes is you can just go straight in and drop the wash in and just let it do its thing. But there you go. You can see that it did a good job blending everything. And now all I have to do is paint the lip black. I almost did nothing on the gloves and the boots, but you know. And I am half tempted to wash the skin with a skin wash to try to smoothen it out a little bit. But it's not too bad. If it would focus, it's not too bad. That said, I probably will do a little bit of a wash, a little skin wash there. So we need some P3 Flush Wash. And we're just going to dilute that with a lot of water. I'm going to go 2 to 1. And I'm just going to apply it in light layers over the model. Try not to let too much of it pool. There you go. It's starting to restore character in his face. There you go. All right. That looks like I did next to nothing. All right. So now we'll do this. Oh, David, if you're still there, do you want me to? Should I leave you a 2x2 little practice pitch 2 or no? Or you just want 3-foot maps? Let me know if you can. Because I do need to know tonight because I am gonna pack everything up so that tomorrow morning when I get ready for work, I just throw the bags in my car. I'm good to go. What's the reaper? I have one 2x2, so I'm set. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. We'll see if anyone from Orange County would be interested in hitching a ride down with me. Problem is, they would have to meet me at my dentist office to get down there. I think a demo on 3x3 for experienced gamers is fine. Yeah, I actually ran just a full game for an experienced guy. I just threw him into a full game, and he was fine. Trying to get this all right. Okay. I'm going to let him dry, but he's basically done. There's not much. Let me see if I can get the camera to focus, then we can actually look at him. But yeah, talk about the easiest color scheme ever. There he is. To me, he definitely looks like One Punch Man. If you like mystery and time travel, watching Erased. Okay. So this white was mostly gray, and then airbrushed the white over it, and then hit all the hard lines with actual white. But yeah, cool. So there's my Saitama. All right, so yeah, that's not much painting tonight, but hey, I'm kind of tired, to be honest with you. It's been a long couple of weeks, a lot of stuff happening. So anyway, that's gonna do for this video. I am really disappointed in this camera. So stay tuned, you guys that are in Orange County. If you haven't planned on doing so yet, try to get down to Paradise Games this Saturday. It's going to be like a newbie get together, play some games, and I think they may try for a tournament as part of that event. That's what I'm dropping mats off for. So yeah, go check that out. David will be there. David Blood will be there running the stuff there. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Have a good night, guys. Want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.